So I start to say something about how I came to children focusing. When I was doing focusing for adults for quite a while, and at this time I was working mainly with adults, and I was on a conference, and international conference, and I was in a group of how to use focusing in management, and it was a really hard group and hard stuff, and I really and everyone was hiding somehow, and I didn't like this group at all. And then there was a break, and I've seen another group of focusers, and they were really in good fun, and they really liked what they did. And I asked them, "What did you do?" And they said, "Oh, this was the children focusing group." And I thought, wow, this is what I want to learn. And so when there is the energy, I like to follow this energy, this children focusing energy. And so I started to learn with Martha Stubbett, children focusing in a course in England. And this brought me to a lot of different approaches how we can focus and teach others to focus in a very creative and very also non-verbal way. So the focusing I didn't know before was only talking, and now I experienced a lot of other ways to symbolize our felt sense, and I really like that. And yeah, the first thing I realized there that the children are genuinely good in focusing, much easier, much quicker, much more into their body than I experienced that with adults before. And because I found out that that children focusing is more an attitude than a technique. So of course we use some technique, but the main thing actually is using the attitude that we really listen, that we really create an atmosphere of safety and trust, and that building on this, children can work out their living forward energy, and they can find their own solutions for their difficulties or problems. And I really enjoyed teaching not only the children but also the teachers, and so I started to find and to form groups how I can train therapists, teachers, parents, caretakers, ergotherapists, all kind of people working with children or being with children. One of my favorite groups is the group of grandmothers and grandfathers, because they are they have much more time for listening and playing with the children, and they have really the need to be better than they have been with their children. So they're very experienced and have the freedom not just to educate the children, but also to understand and nurture them in a special way. So this is my favorite group, so I really like teaching grandparents. This is happening from time to time. Yeah. So I found out another group very interested in children focusing. These are all kind of healing professions, like in Germany we call them Heilpraktiker. So these are not doctors in a hospital, but in private practice, and so they are also always looking for new ways to reach and connect children with their bodies. So more and more I was invited by other focusing coordinators in all kind of different countries to train their students, their focusing students or whatever, in children focusing. So I've been several times to Chile and into different towns in Chile, gave some trainings on university and in private groups. I've done some focusing classes in Israel, I've done some in Greece, and this is at the moment still an ongoing class, and I'm very much enjoying this class in Greece because they are very well educated in focusing and know a lot about the system and the person-centered approach, and so I can very easily establish the speciality, how we do focusing, help children to focus, and how we do children focusing with children. Full stop. So I regard children as our biggest treasure we have. So I once have written an article, children are the future. They are really our future, and we should teach them to grow up very healthy and become really person and really have all their what is inside of them, and so we have on one hand we have the children, and they are very, very important, and on the other hand we need, in our days, we need adults who support this children work, because in our world children are not very powerful, and the power is with the adults. So we need also to teach adults focusing and how to do focusing with themselves, so that they can do it with their children or can nurture their children. And when we have the children, which are our future, and we have the people, the adults who are taking the decisions in our days, we have the whole world. And so somehow this is my very big vision. So to introduce myself, I'm Heidrun Essler, in the international community called Heidi, because a lot of different countries or languages can't pronounce Heidrun, what is really a German name and a Germanic name, and is quite difficult for some to say. So Heidi, everyone knows from the children books, the Swiss Heidi in the mountains, and it's easy to remember this name. And I'm a children focusing coordinator for the children focusing internationally from the Focusing Institute in New York. And I'm also an adult coordinator, and I'm doing this focusing now for many, many years, and I'm still very, very excited about it, and still developing and learning more and more and more about what the hell is focusing.